Hope you've gone out to the movies this week. Today, Grandma has gone to The Circle, which stars Emma Watson, which we saw recently as Beauty and Beauty and the Beast. She starts off as a customer service rep, answering phone calls in a service call center. She eventually gets a job in a place called The Circle, which is sort of patterned, I would imagine, after Apple.
It looked like it.
Yeah, and that is this huge, big, circular complex with a whole lot of
All
employees
kinds of services.
and a lot of high-tech services. A lot of them involving the cloud up there, where they store all this data. And a lot of it, again, has to do with collecting data on people, video and other data on people, sort of whether they want to or not. And also other inventions sort of to collect data that they develop. The head of the company is played by Tom Hanks. Um, and again, she gets involved deeply into the company, not just as a call center person. And things get complicated, we might say. What would you think of the movie there, Grandma?
I thought it was very interesting. It's such an interesting premise, gathering information on everyone. No secrets. No secrets anymore. Tom Hanks is such a major person in the movie making world, but he was actually kind of a supporting role. He wasn't, the main character. The main character was our young lady and what she experienced in this digital world that she joined. And the premise sounds good, it does. Let's
all of their intentions sound so good all
right.
the time. It's all for everybody's
right.
benefit. All
Everyone.
of this information they're collecting.
Nobody can do anything in secret. They can't be planning a bank heist or anything because we will know that they're going to do that. So The Circle is very interesting. It is a premise that sounds wonderful, and our heroine is pulled into the whole idea, and she becomes a strong supporter of the whole idea, and as you mentioned, becomes one of the key persons in the circle developing. They are.
But as the saying goes, Grandma,
Yes.
It's too good to be true.
It sounds too good to be true. It probably is. And
so what did you think of it?
I thought it was fascinating. It was such a interesting premise. I mean, you want it. You want to believe it. It sounds true, good, true. And I thought that Emma Watson was really good in this role. She had a lot of acting to do just with her facial expressions. I mean, there wasn't any running, jumping, and fighting the bad guys. It was all her thoughts, what she was learning, what she was experiencing, and I thought she did a fabulous job. She convinced us of what was happening with her all along the way. I thought it was a great idea and interesting in the world that we live in now, where everyone seems to be connected with their cell phones and other. I learned how to Facebook the other day, so Grandma could do that.
Okay.
Yes. What did you think?
It had a lot of good points or parts to it. Again, the acting is all very good. And again, the story is such that it really does keep you interested the whole time. I had no idea where this movie was going, what was going to happen, how it was going to end. So again, it keeps you involved. My main problem with it is that it brings up so many important issues.
Yes.
But every one of these issues is sort of like a a pebble thrown into a pond, and it creates all these ripples. And what we don't see is all of the effects of all of these concepts, all these big concepts about privacy and politics and medicine and all these different issues that they bring up. It's just so multifaceted that, again, it's interesting to think of, but if you sit and actually think about it, there's too much involved for them to really show all of it and explain it and show what really would have happened. It's a lot of complications that really are not considered, and in that I found it was sort of disappointing. I mean,
they
again,
could have done more of that. Yeah.
Well, they could have done more, but it would have been a lot longer movie.
Yes.
It would have been a lot bigger movie, and again, for this less than 2 hour movie, again, they just made it a little too simplistic, I think, for the big issues that they were bringing up. And again, I thought when it finally got to the ending was just a little too easy and not really very satisfying.
But
however,
we're not going to tell how it
no,
is.
again, however, I would probably recommend it just because, again, it has a very interesting concept, and it really does keep you guessing through most of it. But again, it's not perfect, and it has some
movie makers,
problems.
On purpose, they want you to think about the ideas that are presented in this story. They want you to think about it after you've seen the film.
Well, of course, but again, you would think that they
don't have to go on.
It's their film. You would think they would make it a little more logical, a little smarter here and there. So again, what would you think? What's your?
Oh yes, I think you should see this film. It's very interesting, very interesting story, and the acting is very, very well done. I recommend it. It's a one thumb movie, not two thumb. Two thumbs I save for the really, really special ones, but this one is good. This one's a one thumb.
Okay.
Yes, go see this one.
Okay.